This is about what Emirates flight did to my mom and I back in India in 2019, and it was not even funny. Those people don't even have a heart. Yes, I said so. Hey, this morning I woke up and I spoke to my mom, and we just had to reminisce on what they did. Hi guys, my manners. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl, Love Mbat TV. If you're just joining us for the first time and you're just seeing this pretty face, this gorgeous face, it's your favorite girl, Love Mbat TV. Thank you. Please stay tuned till the end because I have an interesting information to give you guys about Emirates Airline. So you have to listen to this before you take that flight for your own safety. Now let's get right onto it. So now this is the story. Sometime in 2019, I traveled with my mom back to India because we go often as well. So we went for like a usual checkup, and it was even a medical visa. So the airline, they were aware of all the situation and the reason why we were there. So we had booked to and fro like you usually book when you're booking for Emirates Airline, and that morning we woke up. Back in India, sometimes the traffic can be crazy, and funny enough, that was my first time experiencing such a crazy traffic, because I know in Lagos it's crazy where you have to like prepare maybe like 5 hours before, but this was India, and I didn't know they had such crazy ass traffic. And that day the traffic held us for almost 2 hours, and we're on our way to the airport. So it was supposed to be a flight for about 9 a.m. and we prepared at about 6, 7. So at 7 at least we were on our way, and technically it's fair, in a country like India. But then that day, the traffic in Mumbai was something else. We're, right there trying to get there for the flight, which was about 9. So we got there at about, let's say 8. I think it was about 8. Yeah, maybe like, I said maybe 8 on the dot, actually, an hour before the flight. And we were not let in. We spoke to the guys there. We were like, oh, we're sorry, we're late. This is the situation. We got held up in traffic. What can we do? And they were like, we're done with boarding. Yes, that's fine. We were late, technically. It's not our fault. Nobody will listen to that. I understand. But guys, we came for medicals. My mom could not really stand for long, so I had to even still find her a wheelchair. So they saw her standing with the pain she was going through back at India airport. For Emirates flights that we had already booked, you understand, they said they would not let us go through the boarding. This was a sick person and her daughter. Like, how mean can you guys be? The funny thing is, they were just looking at us like, it was more or less like, well, we won't let you in, there's nothing we can do. Call the customer service. Like, we kept calling. I was like, is there anything you can do? Is there a manager or someone I can talk to? And then those guys at the center, the customer service, I think they have the most useless customer service ever in India for Emirates flight, because those people are very heartless. They saw a sick woman and her daughter. Yes, according to them, we missed our flights, no problems. Yeah, but was there a solution? No. They said, go ahead, call the customer service. And they just said it like, I don't care what happens to you guys. Go and call the customer service, do whatever. Me, because my mom could not stand for long, I had to go and start looking for a wheelchair by myself at the airport, Indian airport, that's not even my home. The worst thing that can happen to you is to miss a flight at an international airport, because it's horrible. And if you use Emirates flight, it's the worst. Those people don't have human sympathy. They don't care about you as far as it's the economy that you use, and it's not business class. And that doesn't even make sense, because the economy is not the cheapest in the world either. It is still our hard-earned money that we paid for that, and then we're just treated like we meant nothing. Remembering it, you get, like, each time I'm just trying to like explain it without crying or like being moved to tears, because I really need to like buttress my point out there, because those people treated us badly. Okay, fine, I'll continue. So they said, oh, there's nothing we can do. Go ahead and call the customer service, do whatever it is you have to do, but from this counter, there's nothing we can do. Can we get a wheelchair? Oh, there's nothing you can. So I decided to go ahead with the advice and call the customer service. That's customer service for India, for Emirates flight. Guys, of course, you know how it is when you call customer service. I was on the phone for so long. 1 hour later, thereabout, they picked finally. Oh, how can we help you? I'm like, okay, we just missed our flight. My mom and I were stranded at the airport and we're trying to get through. We're trying to get back to Nigeria. What's the solution? They said, oh, so sorry about that. And then they checked and said, oh, we don't have any other flights available. We only have the business class. And the business class was ×3 of the money we had already paid. And we could not afford that at that point in time. We're like, okay, is there any economy spaces remaining? Do you get? Just even if it means like paying extra, which is something that happens if you miss your flight, you know you get to pay extra. But for them to say ×3, it was, I think it was about 1.5 million naira, if I could remember correctly. Do you get? Like to get the business class. If I could afford the business class the first time, I would have used it. Do you get? So it was more or less like if you're using Emirates and you're using an economy flight, they don't care about you except you use a business class. Called again. Are there any flights available? They said no. I kept calling. Before they even pick up, we were at the airport, we were stranded, we were hungry, nobody was answering us. I was just like a mad person that day. My hair, everything was just flying. And it was like the whole of India stood still because nobody was even like, oh, you know, how can we help? Nobody knew how to help because I practically had to start talking to everyone I saw at the airport, the security, everybody. You know how big the airport is. So it was like, sorry, we can't help you. And I'm like, are you serious in a country like this? So I don't even know if I would call it, because normally Indians are usually very nice. Do you get? Like, honestly, I would not, like, they're nice. I wouldn't even deny that one. So I don't know what happened. I don't know who to blame. I don't know if I would say it was racism. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even trying. They are nice. Indians that I know, because I've been to India several times. So I don't know if I'm going to blame Indians. I'm going to blame Emirates flights. I'm going to blame myself for missing the flight. It was just lots of thoughts running through my mind. Customer service kept saying we have only business class available. I called back maybe like an hour later. Oh, we don't have the business class anymore. We have, what they even said they had first class. And of course, you know, like it keeps getting up. So it's like business class or first class. And it's not cheap. 1 million, 1.5 million, that sort of thing. We're like, please, we need an economy flight. And then they said there is no economy flights going again today. You have to book for another day. And booking for another day, what they just mean is this money you've paid is already gone. And I'm like, can humans be this heartless? The funny thing is, because of me moving around and trying to find a solution, I met some guy that was also, you know, traveling, and then they just stopped there, you know, briefly. He was still traveling back to, he was traveling back to Nigeria, and then he got on the flight, you know, he got on another Emirates flight back to Nigeria that same day. And then when he chatted me up when he got to Nigeria, he told me that the flight was empty. All of the economy spaces were empty, and these people were just so mean, telling my mom and I, seeing that we were suffering in that situation. They said that they had no flight because they wanted to force us to use business class or first class. I mean, they have no heart. I keep repeating this because it was not fair for someone to tell me that the flight he entered to the same place I was going to Nigeria was empty, and then they just treated us like that. They didn't provide any wheelchair, they didn't provide any solution for them. It was like, whatever you're doing, that's your business. They left us there, a sick woman and her child. I mean, they had no heart. Like I said, I really don't know who to blame, but it is Emirates flight. And then the customer service on the phone, you know, they were not even, I was like, what should we do? Do you get, we're here, we're stranded, this is not our country. We don't have any home here, we don't have any family. What should we do? And it was like, there's nothing, like, do you get, like, now, hearing that word, there's nothing I can do. Just, it beats my imagination. How can you not do anything and you're working in a company? Call a manager, there should be a solution, and you keep telling me there's nothing you can do. So what should we do? Guys, reminiscing on this, you get, just, it really makes me sad, because some of this Emirates it's more or less like, you're not using first class, you're not using business class, it's not our business. But I mean, we survived it. But I woke up this morning feeling really sad, and then I spoke to my mom and I was like, I can't keep hiding this truth. People, you know, that want to fly Emirates flight should know what to expect. You dare not miss your flight, especially if it's not business or first. You dare not, because they will tell you that there's no extra flights remaining and you have to get another flight entirely for a different day, just so that the money you've paid for this one will just go. So guys, after that day, I made up my mind I will never use Emirates again. We went back, we had to find a way, you know, get another hotel. It was a horrible experience. And of course, I had to book for, you know, Ethiopian Airline, which honestly, those guys are nice. You know, they're always very nice. I mean, I have never missed their flights, because you know how it is that day for their flights. I woke up like In fact, I got ready like 5 hours before. We're at the airport like 5 hours before because I wasn't even ready to hear any stories. You get, and then I used Ethiopian Airline to get back to Nigeria. Funny enough, like even when I was going back to Dubai, I used Ethiopian Airline because I wasn't even ready to risk it. It felt like Emirates Airline were my enemies. Do you get? Because what they did to me was really unfair. Like I deserve to be treated better. Like they acted like they had no conscience. You get, like you're dealing with human beings, but the fact that I did not use the business class does not mean that a flight that is empty or flights that are empty, you won't let me board on that because you want me to book another. Those guys, honestly, what they did to my mom and I was so unfair. Do you get? I keep saying this was a sick lady. We went for like medicals, so like I even had to get her a wheelchair, so her legs were not like very strong as well, you know, to walk with. So at least they should have. Let's say okay, you missed your flight and all that. Why don't you book us on another flight? Since there were flights for that day, you kept insisting that it's either the business class or nothing because you wanted extra money. Like, how does that even make sense? It was a crazy experience, guys. It really was. But I mean, I thank God that we're alive today, you know, to be able to tell the story. So this is just me, my message for the world and for people out there. If you want to use Emirates flight, try not to miss your flights because they don't really care about you that much. That's just the honest truth. I feel like if it had happened with another flight, you know, they would have been able to create a solution, not just keep us on the phone and insist on either business class or first class. Like, you can't be that money conscious. You should care about people that you're going with, honestly. Thanks, my lovelies. I know it's been a ranting day, but thank you for staying tuned and for listening to my story, or well, my mom and I's story on our Emirates airline journey. So before you take an Emirates airline, just be sure that, you know, you're ready for whatever drama they will come up with. And guys, I know this is actually officially the first time I'm using my natural hair. I mean, I woke up, I washed my hair, I was like, okay, they need to know you have long hair, long beautiful hair, baby. So you can always drop it on the comment section. Make sure you like, you comment. I mean, if you've had your own crazy experiences as well, if you've even had good experiences, I want to hear honestly, because I mean, my experience with Emirates has been crazy. Do you get it? Wasn't even good at. I mean, when I was coming, you know, coming down, it was cool, but you can see what happened to me. So just, you know, be careful before you make that decision to use Emirates. That's just all I'm saying, because they did not treat me and myself and my mom right back in India. I don't know if I'll, like I said, I don't know if I'll blame anybody, but whatever. That's it. That's it, done and dusted. Thank you guys for staying tuned with Love Back TV. It's still your favorite girl. I still love you guys, and keep being beautiful until I come your way again. I love you. Bye for now.